Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your friend Bats. My name is Jared. This is Carl, and I have quite the stack of books for this is a big Superman haul. Through June and July, I pretty much only bought Superman. I got a few Nightwing books too, but this is my haul of the last month and a half. So, starting it off first with Action Comics. This is like volume 3 of the newer Action run. Yeah, volume 3. The last volume I didn't care for because it was an anthology book, and I thought I was getting myself into a Superman book because it had Superman on the cover and it says to hell and back, and I was like, oh, Superman's gonna go to hell and back. That sounds fun. And he didn't do that at all. So it was basically a bunch of backup stories of anthologies of different characters in the Action comic books. And so I realized as I was reading it, I was like, oh, these are all like 10 pages. And I think this one is like that as well, but not as extreme. So, but I am looking forward to this. I do really like reading about John Henry. He's always fun. And as I flip through this, I see a lot of Superman in it. And so, and then I realize now that this run of Action is more about Superman's family than it is Superman. And I'm fine with that. I just needed to be, just needed to be aware of it instead of unaware and then being surprised, I guess. So I am looking forward to reading this, but I'm not excited for as much as any of the other ones here. This is also an anthology, and I really like what Jason Aaron's doing over Absolute Superman, and I'm curious what Gail Simone's going to do, because I feel like since New 52, Gail has been... I haven't enjoyed any of her work when I really enjoyed her work before New 52. So I want to see her come back to being good DC writing Gail Simone that I know her for. So I'm curious. I'm very curious. She's doing this Max Fleischer style Superman story, so I'm curious. Up next is the Joshua Williamson, Dan Mora Superman. This I'm super excited for. I love Dan Mora's art. I think he's the Jose Luis Garcia Lopez of our generation. And Joshua Williamson has been really killing it on Superman. The last 3 volumes he wrote have been fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to this. And it has one of my favorite modern artists today on the book. So yeah, it's this should... I don't even really want to flip through this, but it's probably going to be awesome. Up next is some older stuff with Jeff Johns, Joe Casey, Joe Kelly, and Mark Schwartz. I'm currently reading this, which is Superman in 2000, not 19. And you could see that it's around the same era, right? Mark Schwartz, Joe Kelly. And so it's a little after this. This is post 9/11 when Superman had the black in his shield. So it kind of falls right into the era that I've been reading. So it works out. Up next, Jeff Johns, Gary Frank's classic Superman Secret Origin. I remember reading this when it first came out and I loved it, and I haven't read it since, and so I am really looking forward to rereading it here soon. I really like Gary Frank. I think I actually have reread it back in like 2012, and I liked it then as I liked it when it first came out, and so it'd be nice to reread it again. I've been on this kick where I really want to start reading Legion again, which I haven't read any Legion since like, I don't know, around like 2008. I had a friend who was super into Legion and had like every available trade of Legion of Superheroes. And so that was like, I didn't ever buy a Legion because I could just read my friends. And so I wish that guy was still around, because it would be beneficial for me right now. But he moved, so maybe I'll have to buy some Legion or get a DC app. And so, but in the meantime, I get some Legion in here, which is nice. Up next, this is the one I'm probably most excited about because I've never read any of this era of Superman, and so I'm really excited to check out some of this is the DC finest, Kryptonite Nevermore, 1970 1971, and it collects a lot of the Action Comics and Superman comics. So you get, let's see, Action 393 to 406, and Superman 233 to 238, and then for some reason it misses 2 issues, or 1 issue, and 240 to 246. And so this should be a lot of fun. I flipped through it already. I love this style of art. I love the just a retro style of everything. I love the colors. I love just kind of the way they drew comics back then. Like, nowadays we're really making just some incredible poses and things like that. And when I read stuff like this, I almost go, if I worked hard enough, I think I could draw this. But then I look at Gary Frank's art and I'm like, yeah, there's no way I could do that. But this pose, yeah, I could do that. I could do that if I worked hard. So it almost, this one, these poses kind of inspire me to be a better artist. But then when I look at stuff like Gary Frank and Dan Moore, I'm like, oh man, I'm nowhere I'll never get there, but maybe one day. And last but not least is Emperor Joker, which is also mixed in with these issues. So basically, it's in this storyline. I'm on volume 5 right now, but they skip over it so they can sell you just a Joker story with Superman, right? So makes sense, because people will just be like, ooh, Joker and Superman. But reading a whole series of Superman is not as enticing as just one story with the Joker. So and this has Ed McGuinness, which is one of my favorite artists of all time, and this collects Superman 582, Man of Steel 104 to 105, Action 769 to 70. So it's 2 issues of this, 2 issues of that. And and I read this, when did I read this? I read this back in 2006. And I remember then I didn't like it because I felt like I didn't know what was going on. And at the time, I got into Superman comics officially, I would say around 2003. And and then I read this, I felt like there was a lot going on when I read this in 2006. And so, I was excited because, Superman, Joker, I was a big Batman fan, getting into Superman over the last few years, and I didn't like it then. So, but I feel like now I have a bigger knowledge of Superman. I have much more appreciation for Superman. And I just love Ed McGuinness, and, Jeff Loeb's one of my favorite writers from this era. And I just think I'll just enjoy this a lot more nowadays. So yeah, that's my super haul. And in stock did not, they didn't ship all my books. There's a missing book here, but I don't know when that's going to come, but I think it's kind of silly because I ordered 8 books, but I only got 7. So they're going to send the shipping on 1 book, right? They entice you with buy $50 or more for free shipping, but then they don't ship all your books. And then there's this 1 book it's the Tom King Superman story. What's it called? Is it called Up and Away? The one where he goes through space and all the challenges to save the little girl. It's that one. And you know what? It's 12 issues, so it's probably this thick. You know, so it's like they're gonna charge themselves. I don't get it. I don't get it. Whatever. It's not my money. Send my book. So that's my super haul. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Oh, just kidding. I'm sorry. I forgot. I said, I had bought some Nightwings, but I forgot to grab these, which also came with my Nightwings. So I saw this in a Facebook group for selling, trading, and buying graphic novels. And one of the members of the group was selling a bunch of books. And I got these 3 Action Comics Rebirth Deluxe Editions. Volumes 1, Volumes 2, and Volume 3. This is the Dan Jurgens run on Superman. And this gets us from, when they went back to the legacy numbering with Action with what, 968? Is that where it started? No, 957. 957. And gets us all the way to Action 999. And 1000 is the big anniversary issue and the first part of Bendis's run. And so now I have a straight run of Superman from 2016 to 2025. So I have a straight 9-year run on the Superman collected edition. So very happy to have all 3 of these now. So now I got to work my way backwards and get New 52. So I've been kind of working my way from Crisis to current and working my way in. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting New 52 soon. So, yeah. So now, officially, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.